Burke will be using animation examples from a recent presentation explaining what algorithms are, how big tech uses them, and how we can take actions that reduce their effectiveness. In this first example, Burke uses animation to feed out the information in order to reduce visual clutter and focus on one idea at a time. If you've watched his micro lesson number 4, Don't Use Bullet Points, you know that the science says not to use them. This slide could have consisted of 3 bullet points. Don't be lazy, take the time to do the research, and remember that you must be proactive. Animations support your storytelling and reinforce the story's narrative flow. They help the audience follow your logic. Here we see big tech as the puppet masters. Zooming out, the central portion of the image gives emphasis to the pulling of strings. Animations can add a bit of drama to your presentation and give the audience a mental break. Here we are talking about the foibles of phishing in various ways. Most of the audience will have experienced this at one time or another and hopefully not fallen for it. This is a rather dramatic animation designed to be memorable for the viewer.
Help me!
Use subtle emphasis animations to draw attention and emphasize what matters. This keeps the audience anchored to your main point. This animation is intended to engage the audience by first showing the do-nothing couch potato, followed by a thoughtful man doing research, and finally the admonition, be proactive. Use animations to illustrate a process. In this slide, from a different presentation on critical thinking, Burke summarized the steps of the process that had been covered in previous slides. Shown on the right is the PowerPoint animation pane for the slide showing the extensive list of animations and timings. Even though that last slide got pretty busy, it was at the conclusion of the presentation to illustrate the steps that had been discussed previously. Here are a few don'ts. The first is the use of cartoonish images that grab attention but detract from your message. Another are animations that slow things down when the audience is ready to keep going. This is a great way to lose them. And making things too complicated. Break complex tasks into separate slides that have the flow of your story. And finally, don't use things like slide transitions just because they are in PowerPoint and you think they are cute. But if you use one of these, stick with it and be consistent. The 3 most commonly used by Burke are none, fade, and morph, when appropriate. The best way to experience Burke's approach to animations is to view more of the Slicecraft micro-lessons. Avoid using bullet points and use images. Focus on replacing text messages with images. Make every slide a story reinforces the use of images and gives some of the science behind it. Narration and voiceover illustrates the timing of animations to align with narration. And perhaps most importantly, 8 seconds to grab attention urges the use of compelling images and animations that grab and hold the viewer's attention. Bottom line, if the animation makes the message clearer, keep it. If it draws attention to itself, remove it.
As you can see, the data clearly indicates if we could just focus on the main points here, despite the graphics.